A sea change, unprecedented warming. The ocean, our planet's lifeblood, is in a state of crisis. Since the 1980s, a startling transformation has unfolded. The rate of ocean warming has quadrupled. This alarming trend, driven by human activities, has set off a cascade of devastating consequences for marine life, ecosystems, and human societies. Imagine a bathtub filled with water, representing our oceans. For decades, we've been slowly turning up the heat, adding more and more energy to the system. This energy, primarily from the sun, is typically balanced by the Earth's ability to radiate heat back into space. However, our relentless burning of fossil fuels has disrupted this delicate equilibrium. Like adding extra blankets to a bed, greenhouse gases trap heat within the Earth's atmosphere, preventing it from escaping. This phenomenon, known as the greenhouse effect, has led to an unprecedented accumulation of heat in our oceans. The consequences of this rapid warming are far-reaching and pose a serious threat to the future of our planet. The accelerating crisis from slow simmer to rapid boil. In the 1980s, the rate of ocean warming was akin to slowly increasing the temperature of our metaphorical bathtub. The changes were subtle, almost like a whisper in the vast expanse of the ocean. It was a time when the world was just beginning to understand the implications of climate change. The change was gradual, almost imperceptible at first. It was as if the ocean was taking its time, adjusting slowly to the increasing temperatures. The surface of the water showed minimal changes, and the deeper layers remained relatively unaffected. However, as decades passed, the rate of warming began to surge, like switching the faucet from a trickle to a torrent. The once calm and steady ocean current started to speed up, and the waves grew more intense. It was a clear sign that the ocean was no longer able to absorb the heat at a slow pace. Professor Chris Merchant, a leading climate scientist, uses a simple yet powerful analogy to explain this acceleration. He often speaks about the ocean's warming in terms that everyone can understand, making the complex science accessible to all. He compares the ocean's warming to filling a bathtub. Imagine a bathtub where the water is slowly being added. Initially, the tap is only slightly open, and the water level rises slowly, almost unnoticeably. In the past, the tap was only slightly open, and the water temperature rose slowly. The gentle flow of water into the bathtub was akin to the gradual increase in ocean temperatures during the early years of climate change awareness. Now, the tap is wide open, and the water is heating up at an alarming rate. The once gentle flow has turned into a gushing torrent, rapidly filling the bathtub and raising the water temperature to dangerous levels. Data from scientific studies paint a stark picture of this acceleration. Researchers have meticulously gathered and analyzed data over the years, and the results are undeniable. The ocean is warming at an unprecedented rate. The rate of warming per decade has skyrocketed from a concerning 0.06 degrees Celsius in the 1980s. This might have seemed like a small change at the time, but it was the beginning of a much larger trend, to a staggering 0.27 degrees Celsius in recent years. This dramatic increase is not just a number, it represents a significant shift in the Earth's climate system, with far-reaching consequences. This dramatic increase is a clear indication that our planet is experiencing an unprecedented level of heat absorption. The heat maps and visualizations show a world where the oceans are becoming hotter and hotter, absorbing more heat than ever before. The implications of this rapid warming are profound, jeopardizing the delicate balance of marine ecosystems. Marine life is struggling to adapt to the changing temperatures, and many species are at risk of extinction, and threatening coastal communities worldwide. Rising sea levels are causing more frequent and severe flooding, putting millions of people at risk. Coastal areas that were once safe are now vulnerable, and the impact on human lives is immense. The urgency of the situation has sparked global movements and calls for action. People around the world are demanding that leaders take immediate steps to address the crisis. International conferences and agreements are being made, but the question remains, is it enough? There is hope, however. Renewable energy projects are on the rise, and more communities are adopting sustainable practices. Solar panels and wind turbines are becoming more common, and there is a growing awareness of the need to protect our planet. Education is also playing a crucial role. Children are learning about climate change from a young age, and educational programs are helping to raise awareness. The next generation is more informed and more passionate about making a difference. It will take a collective effort to turn the tide. Communities, scientists, leaders, and individuals must work together to address the challenges we face. By coming together, we can create a more sustainable and resilient future for all. The journey from a slow simmer to a rapid boil has been a wake-up call. But with determination and action, we can restore balance and ensure a healthy planet for generations to come. Energy imbalance, our planet's feverish state. This imbalance is a critical issue that affects every aspect of our environment and lives. The Earth's climate system is akin to a complex machine, with various components working in concert to maintain a stable temperature. These components include the atmosphere, oceans, land surfaces, and ice masses, all interacting in a delicate balance. One crucial aspect of this system is the Earth's energy balance, the equilibrium between incoming solar radiation and outgoing heat radiation. This balance ensures that the planet remains at a temperature conducive to life. However, this delicate balance has been disrupted by human activities, particularly the burning of fossil fuels. Industrial processes, transportation, and deforestation are major contributors to this disruption. As we pump massive amounts of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, we are effectively trapping more heat within the Earth's system. These gases, such as carbon dioxide and methane, act like a blanket, preventing heat from escaping into space. This imbalance is like constantly adding fuel to a fire without allowing any heat to escape. The more greenhouse gases we emit, the thicker this blanket becomes, leading to a continuous rise in global temperatures. As a result, the Earth's overall temperature is rising, and the oceans, covering over 70% of the planet's surface, are absorbing the brunt of this excess heat. This warming has profound effects on marine ecosystems, including coral bleaching and shifts in species distribution. Since 2010, this energy imbalance has doubled, indicating a significant acceleration in the rate of global warming. This rapid change is unprecedented in the history of our planet and poses a serious threat to all forms of life. This alarming trend is a clear sign that our planet is experiencing a fever, and the consequences are becoming increasingly dire. Melting ice caps, rising sea levels, and more frequent extreme weather events are just a few of the symptoms of this feverish state. If we do not take immediate and decisive action to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, the impacts will only worsen, threatening the very fabric of our existence. Section 4. The greenhouse effect, trapping heat, fueling warming. The greenhouse effect is a natural process that helps regulate the Earth's temperature, making it habitable for life as we know it. However, human activities have intensified this effect, leading to an unprecedented warming trend. Imagine the Earth's atmosphere as a greenhouse, with gases like carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide acting as the glass panes. These greenhouse gases allow sunlight to pass through but trap some of the outgoing heat radiation, preventing it from escaping back into space. While this natural greenhouse effect is essential for life, human activities, primarily the burning of fossil fuels, have significantly increased the concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. This enhanced greenhouse effect is like adding extra layers of glass to our planetary greenhouse, trapping more heat and causing the Earth's temperature to rise. The consequences of this unchecked warming are far-reaching, impacting everything from weather patterns and sea levels to the health of ecosystems and the survival of countless species. Section 5. El Niño and the amplified warming signal. El Niño, a climate phenomenon that has been studied for decades, continues to intrigue scientists and the general public alike. Its impacts are far-reaching, affecting weather patterns, marine life, and even human activities across the globe. El Niño, a climate pattern characterized by the warming of surface waters in the central and eastern tropical Pacific Ocean, has long been known to influence global weather patterns. This warming can lead to significant changes in precipitation, causing droughts in some regions and heavy rainfall in others. The effects of El Niño are not confined to the Pacific. They ripple outwards, influencing weather systems worldwide. However, in recent years, El Niño events have coincided with record-breaking ocean temperatures, raising concerns about the amplifying effect of these combined phenomena. The synergy between El Niño and global warming has led to unprecedented heat waves in the ocean, which in turn affect marine ecosystems and coastal communities. Coral reefs, for instance, suffer from bleaching events, while fish populations may migrate to cooler waters, disrupting local fisheries. El Niño events typically occur every few years and can last for several months to a year. Historical records show that these events have been happening for centuries. but their frequency and intensity appear to be increasing in recent decades. This change is likely linked to the broader context of global climate change, which is altering the baseline conditions of our planet's climate system. During an El Niño event, the trade winds weaken, allowing warm water that is usually piled up in the western Pacific to flow eastward towards the Americas. This shift in ocean currents disrupts the normal upwelling of cold, nutrient-rich water along the coast of South America, impacting marine life and local weather patterns. The redistribution of heat in the ocean also affects atmospheric circulation, leading to changes in weather patterns far from the Pacific. In 2023 and early 2024, the world witnessed exceptionally high ocean temperatures, exceeding previous records. These extreme temperatures were not just confined to the Pacific, but were observed in oceans around the world. The combination of El Niño and ongoing global warming created a perfect storm of heat, with far-reaching consequences for weather, ecosystems, and human societies. While El Niño conditions contributed to this warming, scientists emphasize that the underlying cause is the long-term trend of human-caused climate change. The burning of fossil fuels, deforestation, and other human activities have increased the concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, trapping more heat and raising global temperatures. This background warming makes the effects of El Niño more severe, as the climate system is already primed for higher temperatures. The recent El Niño events, superimposed on an already warming planet, have acted like a magnifying glass, intensifying the impacts of climate change. This amplification effect means that the weather extremes associated with El Niño, such as heat waves, droughts, and heavy rainfall, become even more pronounced. The interplay between natural climate variability and human-induced warming creates a more volatile and unpredictable climate system. These events provide a stark warning of the potential for even more extreme warming in the future if we fail to curb greenhouse gas emissions. The lessons from recent El Niño events underscore the urgency of addressing climate change. Reducing emissions, transitioning to renewable energy sources, and enhancing climate resilience are critical steps to mitigate the worst impacts of a warming world. The future of our planet depends on the actions we take today to combat climate change and